I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be
indie
me.
wrestling podcast, fellow wrestlers, trainees, event support staff, friends, foes, and everyone in between. Fuck me. If you have a topic, if you have a question, you better get it in quick because the Don is out of here. The Don, how are you, my friend? It's good of you to drop by.
I'm good. It's been an interesting week. Actually, just in the middle of a chest infection, but I got myself some antibiotics, so I'm doing good. So apologies to anyone if I'm coughing or snorting during this one, but I'm okay. I will survive. This weekend I was not part of any wrestling, but there was wrestling happening. But we'll talk about that later. Let's talk about the happening topics and the big things that are happening in Australian indie wrestling.
Well, what is the hip hap and the happening, Don? I'll tell you what is happening. I caught PWL Chaos at the Coughs. That is finally out. But Newi Pro was streamed live, so I caught that one as well. A little bit of that. QWA Legacy was just released. I have not caught a bit of that yet, but come on, I'm only one man. You know,
Wrestling watch.
Yeah, geez, and you know, I still haven't watched an episode of Raw since they came to Perth. Hey?
Oh dang, one live.
Yeah, just that one live. That'll do. And I caught IWA Fighting Spirit because people were talking about Rita Stone versus Jessica Troy, so I had to go and dig that up and have a look for myself. So that is still fresh if you haven't seen it. Of course, everything is fresh if you haven't seen it to the naked eye. And Don, why don't you tell us?
Hold on. What did you think? How much of PWL did you catch, or did you just catch that it's out?
No, I just caught that it's out, and like I flicked through it. What are you calling me out, Don? I flicked through it. I didn't.
No, I just want to know I just want to know if you caught the match.
I tell you what I didn't do is I didn't sit down and watch your match and go, I'm going to be quizzed on this. I watched more other people's matches. You know, why would I watch your match when you're going to talk about your match? Why would I steal your thunder?
There's a hurricane blowing in over the water.
I don't know, just in case you were like, bro, what are you doing? Or, hey, man, good job, you know? Pat on the back or a slap on the wrist. That's all I expect.
There are no two words in the English language more harmful than good job.
Good job,
kid.
Good job,
Yeah,
Don.
yeah.
You know,
You did all right.
You did us proud over in Queensland. Well, us, I say, but you did the podcast proud, and you did all of WA proud. You did DNT proud, and from what I hear, you did Target proud as well. So it's all systems go. Yeah.
Thumbs up. That's how we roll around here.
That's how we roll.
So yeah, the people are really talking about Rita Stone versus Jessica Troy. It's hell of a match, eh?
Yeah, no, it's
No, I'm keen to check it out myself. I haven't caught up with it. I have a subscription to Kayo because I'm watching the NBL season at the moment, and I realized that that's an easy way to watch your Collision and your Dynamite. And I watched a little bit because I'm like, well, I'm paying for it. I might as well check out some of the wrestling available on Kayo. And I didn't have a good time. I like their production values and how they set up the show, but I didn't like a lot. There's some good stuff. There was a little bit of good stuff, but a lot of the stuff I saw, I was disappointed, expecting.
Well, you got to elaborate. You got to elaborate. You can't just go, I was disappointed. Like, what disappointed you? Like,
so I started watching the women's blood and guts match, and while it looked awesome, an epic spectacle, it was like women's evolution, botchamania. Like there was just average stuff going on. I didn't make it all the way through. You look at the women's wrestling in WWE at the moment, it's streets ahead. And then I stopped watching that and I watched Collision, I think, for a little bit. And
see, that's really where you went wrong. That's where you went wrong. No one watches Collision really unless there was something good. You watch the highlights of Collision at best.
No, this was Dynamite. Dynamite was blood and guts. I thought that was supposed to be the better show.
Yeah,
I was disappointed. So I dropped that and went to Collision, and I saw a 6-man tag, and I was excited because Jay Lethal was there, and I was like,
they don't
and he was
treat Jay
teaming
Lethal
with.
well.
No, well, he still wrestles really well, so it was good to see him do stuff. But he was teamed up with a guy I don't know, and Dynamite Kid's son. I was like, oh shit, Dynamite Kid's son, Tom Billings Jr. I was like, that's good, that's really cool. But unfortunately, he was against Wheeler Utah, Danny Garcia, who's
Death
just
Riders.
dog shit.
Oh
And,
shit, Danny Garcia. Pac, yeah.
Oh, he's so bad. But yeah, Pac is just like ripped to shreds. And I feel like there's something they could be doing with him. I don't watch enough to know what they're doing with him, but it looked like he did a promo to set up a match for someone else. But then gone.
Sorry, I think he has like problems with his visa and stuff, so they can't get a consistent run with him. You know, like yeah.
But yeah, he looks like $1 million.
Yeah, always does.
And
so. It's what's funny. It's what's funny. There's always there's the Death Riders, and then there's just this one little ripped dude walking around with them. Hey, so.
Just and his old stuff was crazy as well. So it'd be interesting to see what age has done, and see how he still performs, because he just looks, like I said, looks $1 million, looks the goods. But then it transitioned from that into a promo with Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher. So bringing it back to Australian indie wrestling. Kyle Fletcher's, he's a superstar. And Mark Davis, who last time I saw, he was at, was live at AEW when they came to Brisbane. I was in the area.
You were in the area? I believe you were at the arena, Don.
Yes. No, it was really cool because to look at him, he just sort of looks like a big brawler type, hard-hitting guy, but he sort of adds this little element of a bit crazy as well, which I think is cool to differentiate him from every other big bad, I'm tough sort of guy. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then I watched him wrestle Mark Briscoe, and that was an interesting match. I enjoyed it, but there's just sometimes you see people do things, and I wonder if it's like in general in wrestling, if it's because they think it's good, or if they think if I do this kind of weird thing, that people will remember that weird thing, even though it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. He did like a jump there. Mark Briscoe was on his knees, and Mark Davis jumped at him and looked like he went for, almost like he was going for a flipping pile driver, but then stopped and went back into a pile driver. It was odd. But then the match continued, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't know how we tangented off into AEW. I think I forced it. You were talking about Mark Davis being Australian and Kyle Fletcher. Yes, stuff. That's right. I was trying to link it back to, So it's good to see those guys again, and then obviously Toni Storm just main event player in the women's. Yeah.
Well, main event player in the women's, like main event player on the show, mate.
Well, in general, biggest star attraction.
A lot of people going to see Toni Storm from all over the world.
Yeah.
But what we thought would be fun to do today, Don, was to go through all the places in WA that you have wrestled at for all the companies, and sort of give the pros and cons, and by all the places you've wrestled at, we mean all of the companies in WA.
Yep.
So none shall escape the Don's wrath. But or cold by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with dude. Dude, where's my ring?
Topic of the show. Wrestling for Dude. It's funny. And originally when Dude first came out, I just thought they were another just all deathmatch show. I wasn't vibing with it at all. I just thought, I've never enjoyed shows, or never thought that shows that are all deathmatch are a good thing. And then I, instead of being someone who just talks shit and doesn't actually pay attention, I went and watched one, and it was very different. It's a variety show. No ring makes it, adds adds a level of difficulty to be able to put on a good show without going into your bag of tricks, specifically being able to bump or being able to do certain moves where you can fall on the ground and there's some sort of like padding. You're not hitting straight up concrete, which is the floor of the dude show. So it's very interesting, and it's worth checking out if you do like a little bit of the blood and weapons. But not everything is that. And I enjoyed the work I've done. It's I think the first time was a little odd. I wasn't quite sure how the fans, because the fans react differently at dude shows than they do anywhere else. The fans are there for a good time. They're going to yell some shit. You've got to be able to work with what they're giving you and not get caught off guard, because it's a different level of fan interaction.
Well, they all think they're stand-up comedians and think that they're through sheets to the wind as well, you know. So it's a great mix of bravado and comments, eh?
Yeah, and it's crazy. There's a few, like 2 rows of seated, and then everyone just sort of crams in behind. Well, this is at Seasonal Brewing Company.
A little beyond Thunderdome, would you say?
Yeah, a little bit, but they're there for a good time. The team that works behind the scenes, there's a lot less setup and pack up. Like there's still a bit, don't get me wrong, like especially with all the weapons broken everywhere, the pack up, cleanup is vital. The need for medics is much more there because it's slightly higher risk. Everyone has to have their blood work checked to make sure there's no one carrying any bloodborne diseases, which should be in every wrestling show. But now I've done it for them. You know, I've got that record.
Anyone been rejected for their blood work?
Not as far as I know. I'm not in that echelon of knowledge. I just turn up and wrestle, which is, to be honest, the best part of wrestling.
Tell us how deep you're involved with Dude and stuff. Like, how deeply involved are you in Dude? Do you just rock up, take bookings, or are you...
That's it. I let them know if I'm available for a show. If they want to use me, they'll let me know, and then tell me the match I'm in. And then generally I chat to the guy on the day, see what else is happening on the show. But as far as organizing things on the show, there's other people that do that. I just turn up, work my match, talk some shit with the guys, try and get at least one drink in early so I'm good to drive at the end of the night. A little bit of libations is always good. And yeah, just a great vibe. Everyone's chill. The one thing I was going to say, I had a little story about crowd interaction. The fan interaction is very different. Like, one of my biggest pet peeves in wrestling is when people are on their phone and they're in the front row. And this particular time I came out, I can't remember the name of the show, but I walked out, went over, doing my thing, and someone was sitting there in the front row on their phone. And normally I just sort of do something real quick to snap them out of it, get their attention. So they pay attention rather than sitting on their phone. Because it's like, come on, man, I'm here to perform. Like, you've pay attention. So I've leaned in and I was like, what did I say? Just basically leaned in and I was like, pay attention. I'm doing things here. You need to pay attention, And then sort of took off. It was quite loud and like quite sharp just to get their attention. And then I find out later.
Quite heelish.
This person was on their phone because they were in the early stages of having a seizure. Their management for that because it doesn't just instantly happen. They don't just start fitting. They have things that start to happen. Their eyes go blurry or whatever. Like
they have trigger warnings.
Yeah. And part of their management is to write down the time and what happened in the lead up to it. Like if it's bright lights or whatever it is, it could be a million different things, but that's part of their management plan. And I didn't know because I yelled at him and then took off and kept doing my thing. And then later on, I found out because the guy approached me at a different show and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. My friend was on their phone, but they were just having a seizure." And I was like, "Oh my God, do not apologize to me. I want to apologize to you because someone's having a seizure and that's their management plan. I didn't know, but at the same time, I've yelled at them. That's probably messed up their whole situation. So you never know what's going to happen. So you got to be careful. And another time at the show, I wrestled my match early and then gone around the back of the room so I could watch the next couple of things. I think Axe Massacre was against Eli, and then maybe, but the main match I noticed this was Jared Slate versus Mickey Fortune, and they're doing some insane shit, man, like some next level, like with weapons and stuff. And there's a guy standing at the guardrail in the front row. There's a section near the production.
I think we got footage, yeah.
Crossed, and just this unimpressed look on his face. There's literally, Mickey does a double stomp off a ladder onto Slade, who goes through like a stack of light tubes and a table. And everyone around is just like, oh shit! And this guy standing there. And I'm like, there's a part of it that's like, you paid for your ticket, you don't have to do anything, you can sit there. But part of it's like, are you enjoying yourself? Like, is this something you like are enjoying? Why would you pay if you're not enjoying yourself? It was just really odd interaction, but 99% of people there are just there for it and having fun. It's a great night out.
It's always that 1% that fuck it up for the rest of yous. Always.
That's it. Oh,
well,
man,
that's the pros and cons of Dude, would you say? Done and dusted. Next we move on to the one you just drove out to Northern for, so it must be worth a quid. Southern Territory Wrestling, run by Andrew Carter Promotions. Tell us about working for Mr. Carter.
Look, man, it's another situation where I'm not in charge of anything. I'm not running anything. I help out where I can if there's anything needed, but I just rock up and wrestle. Like they say where it's going to be. I give my availability. They tell me what match I've got, and I just turn up. And things might be happening behind the scenes that I don't know about. As far as I know, everything's kosher. Everything's great. They're doing sort of like the country show in Northern, which is good to spread it out there. They are down in Warnbro, majority of their shows. And I have a good time. The fans up in Northern, specifically at this last show, were just there for a good time, having fun, and sold a heap of merchandise. That's another thing guys got to get all over, is at least a couple of bits of merchandise. Because not only will you make extra money on top of your match fee or whatever it is, but you also interact with the crowd, interact with the fans, positive or negative. You know, if you're a face or a heel, they get to know who they're coming to see, and they get to engage in a different way rather than just sitting there. And that entices them to come back to the next one, because they're like, I had a good night, but man, talking shit with the Don or who was around me at the time, Rogan Kargas, Julian Ward, Kaz Jordan, Dustin Connors, they were all sort of there at the merch desk, and they got to know them in a way that they can't just from watching in the ring. And thankfully for me personally, because I don't have a bunch of responsibilities, it's easy for me to just rock up, chuck my stuff on the table, interact with fans, sell some merch. The another good thing is we got, I know it's good and it's bad. It's good because it was there, but it's bad because I'm on a very specific macro diet at the moment. Is they had just stacks of pizzas and water and stuff backstage in Northern. I think there was a sponsorship they had with Domino's.
Domino's.
Yeah, and it was just Domino's pizzas, like on these like two trestle tables full.
So, talking catering, what about Dude? Does Dude cater, or do they like?
Dude, you get a bar card, like not a bar card, like a drink voucher. There's definitely water backstage, and a few like they put. It's not like meal sort of stuff, but there's like lollies and snack sort of stuff. Lollies are always good. Surprisingly, even for guys who are doing macros and stuff, a little bit of sugar energy before you go out is good to just sort of help keep the blood pumping. It's not something you should be sitting there eating all the time, but they do provide
a chartreuse plate of sugar.
Yes. So SCW, they're still building. They had a big kickoff when they started, and the way things were happening, and then things sort of petered out, and I think they're on a rise again at the moment. There's just a bit more interest in what they're doing. and they said spreading their wings northern and then south of the river, which for me actually works out the same time frame to drive from where I live to Warnbro, and from where I live to Northern. It's the same, not the same distance, but the same time.
So pros and cons I'm hearing is pros, pizzas, but they ruin your macros.
Yep.
And cons is the driving distance, but that's just WA.
That's just WA, yeah. I mean, really, there should be like more suburban wrestling, like more spots popping up around, which feed the bigger shows. But it is what it is. Which is sort of like what your pub shows and stuff that happen tend to do.
Yep. Although don't tell them that they're called feeder shows. Now, Next, New Horizons Pro Wrestling. Don, when was the last time you wrestled for New Horizons Pro Wrestling?
NHPW's got to have been maybe a year ago. It's been a minute, but mainly because just date conflicts. And so the last time I wrestled for them, they had an idea of doing a few... like a running storyline, do a few shows, but the following show I actually had the worst flu. Like for me to go to the show, A, I wouldn't perform, and B, I would probably infect half the locker room with the flu that I had. So I just, out of fairness to everyone, I couldn't make it to that show. And then the next following couple of shows, there was date conflicts, and they haven't been back in touch, and that's fair enough at this point because, like I say, last run I did, it didn't work out, and date conflicts and stuff. When things become a bit too hard basket, you got to kind of leave it alone. And plus, absence can make the heart grow fonder. You know what I mean? I might be good for the fans. You know what I mean? Like, they haven't seen me for a while. It might be an exciting thing for me to pop up again.
You keep telling yourself that, mate.
Oh yeah, cheers, man. Cheers. But yeah, they have a good solid crowd that come regularly. A lot of their guys are newer. There's only a few guys who have been there for a while. I know Jared Slate used to wrestle down there very consistently. And I think it's like anything. Guess what it's hard for wrestlers to get sometimes is they want to be on every show all the time, everything, but you need to have like runs. You know what I mean? You do a certain amount of shows in a row, developing a storyline, telling that story, finishing the story, and it's actually good to step away for a little while, let some other things play out, and then be slotted back in at certain points. So with the fact that we've got 4 companies at the moment, that can work well in your favor. That you can be working somewhere else as well. But yeah, it's and then yeah, same. Go on.
Pros and cons of NHPW and the catering, Don. Let's hear it.
Okay, so they're catering again. It's water backstage, a few like light snacks like lollies and stuff like that. Just not like meal food. Do you know what I mean? It's just sort of a little bit of something for guys to grab if they need it. Well, that was the last time. Again, it's been about a year.
Yep.
So that may have changed in that period. But I have noticed a lot of younger guys and guys who weren't so much getting bookings everywhere else that train at EPW have been getting matches down there, and they run their own school shows and stuff as well in their training facility.
So yeah, so that's what pros?
Pros for all my things, good working environment. Everyone's there, everyone's good. The venue not as far as others, and it's a nice little venue. And again, I just turn up and wrestle. Like, there's no responsibility.
Let's hear the cons.
Sorry?
Let's hear the cons.
The cons, they're not booking me at the moment.
They're not calling. They're not calling. Why are you not calling? Yeah.
My details, I can no, but the cons are. Okay, it's been a year.
Yeah, so not enough dates. You can't get enough dates down there. You're just too busy to get down there.
That's it. And I like a lot of newer guys who are still learning. Not so much a con, but it's good that they're expanding their roster and getting new guys in. But it's less experience. The matches are a lot more simple, which again, it could be a pro. Not for me. when I've worked there, not all. There is a bunch of guys putting on some amazing matches, but when you have the new guys, you can't overextend them because it overexposes them, and it's not good for the show.
We're still getting in a bunch of new kids as a pro always, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And the big one, Don, EPW. You've been there for how many years now?
It's 20 years.
20 years for the Don.
Yeah. Yeah. So where do I start? But the hardest thing about EPW is I've been there for so long. I do a lot of stuff. I do whatever I can. Very passionate about it. That's where I started. They're the first people to put me on, the first people to give me a place to do this crazy thing we call wrestling. So at all times, I'm always trying to improve whatever I can or help out wherever I can. I've had days where I'll turn up to pack the truck at 10 a.m. and I'm not getting in until after 2 in the morning because there's just that much to do. And I see the numbers as some people sort of rock up and disappear. Some people don't do their duties, or they're rostered on for a duty and they don't know what they're doing. So they just sit there with their hands in their pockets waiting for people to tell them what to do, which quite often I'm happy to provide with a little bit of like, get your fucking shit together.
Bit of encouragement.
Yeah. But the good thing is there's a lot of young guys who there's a few young guys who share that passion, who are starting to step up and do some things. Again, it's sort of like they see that...
Well, name names if they're doing well.
James Hartness, Jesse Lambert, Dustin Connors, who else?
Fantasia.
Fantasia does help, but he's not like leading. Like he's doing well wrestling, but he's not leading the charge with getting shit done. Guys like James Hartness, Jesse Lambert, Dustin Connors, they're pushing the boundaries, like really getting things happening. They believe they've been given a lot of opportunity, so they're paying it back and really making sure things are going well. Because at the end of the day, if you rock up to a show and you're just wrestling and things aren't improving, the only thing you do is look at yourself. And I say that after just talking about all these other shows where I just turn up and wrestle, and that's what I'm bringing to the table. But if you're really getting that big time, the company's getting behind you, you have to take it on yourself and be like, man, I need to help. I need to do more. I need to do whatever I can to put this show on a higher pedestal, because then it only affects yourself. More people watching, it's better for the show, better for you. It's good all around. And the catering in general at EPW is top level. Some Nando's pockets, a bit of some wraps, soft drink, cold water. It's the best catering in the state. It's lovely.
So some top shelf catering from EPW with the Nando's, with the cheeky Nando's.
Get a cheeky Nando's. It's lovely.
I feel that's on brand.
There's generally cookies and oat bars and protein bars and shit as well. Quite often as well, there's like different macro level sort of stuff, and there's a vegetarian option. I don't know about a vegan option. There's probably a vegan option as well. I just don't eat it because it's not for me. So I just go, yep, meat, good.
Is there a halal option, or do you have to pre-order that?
I'm not sure, because I don't eat halal.
There you go.
I don't not eat halal, but it's not, I wouldn't eat it on a catering level because I can eat other things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas people who need the halal, that's specifically for them.
So Don, pros and cons of EPW.
Pros of EPW are just big. It always feels like a bigger time show, and it's good. I know a lot of people there always have a good time. The production levels are quite good. Cons, I do too much. I put too much emphasis on the work that I need to do to get things done, and that makes it frustrating when things don't go. Like, people get frustrated with their matches when the matches don't go their way. I get frustrated because when things don't go the right way on shows or things aren't going the right direction, because my matches are always go right. So
fair enough.
But yeah, I suppose that's the bit of backstage. If there's anything you want to ask me, anyone watching, they're like, hey, you talked about these things, but you didn't mention XYZ about this company or any of the companies, hit us up. Send me a message underneath here. Send me a message on Instagram. Also, just quickly before we move on from here, we've just talked about all those companies. Dude, Where's My Ring has the Great George Christmas Carol coming up December 5th. It'll be a great night. SCW is done for the year. Next year, they'll come back with Cruel Summer in 2026. NHPW has Final Chapter 16, November 28 and 29. I'm going to try and get there. I don't know if I can or not. I'm definitely going to try to get down there because it's Mana's birthday bash. We've got a lot of love for Mana. And I've got a few friends as well who I think are working the show, so it'll be good to see them. And I got a lot of love for NHPW. I'm not wrestling on the show, but I'd love to. I want to be a part of Final Chapter 16, even if I've got to pay for a ticket. EPW has Date with Destiny this weekend, November 22nd, and then Reawakening is on December 13th, and that's going to be a huge show.
And they had Beer Fest last weekend, and this weekend EPW, or your ESPW, has what's going on there, Don? Because it says
what, the Beer Fest or at the ESPW show?
Well, the ESPW show with Beer Fest.
No, it's because I wasn't at Beer Fest.
I was going to say Beer Fest was last weekend. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. So this weekend at ESPW, it is the final ESPW for the year. It is called with Date with Destiny because all of our competitors have a date with Destiny this weekend, and I'm really hyped for it. We've got a hell of a card. One of the big matches that I'm excited to see is the final of the FN Carnage Rising Star Cup. And this is going to go down between Faisal Ali and Adonis Matthews. Adonis Matthews, better known as Dagger, for the giant knife tattooed on his chest, is a kid who is in immaculate condition, is just leaps and bounds. Everything he does is next level. And Faisal Ali is a guy who's been around for a while, but I feel like he doesn't get his dues for his abilities and what he can do. He's been wrestling a lot at Dude, Where's My Ring? He's been doing stuff at ESPW, but the things I've seen this kid do, it's phenomenal. So to see this matchup between him and Dagger for like the Rising Star Cup, it's going to be an amazing match.
Oh, that's for the cup, is it? Yeah, that'll be good between Faisal and Adonis. Adonis has got the old upside down Brock Lesnar on him, eh?
Yes. That's why they call him the Dagger. Another interesting match was Damian Slater versus Papa Germ. And this was actually kind of called out by Slater. He was saying he's sick of seeing people think they can grapple, talking themselves up as big hold-for-hold guys. And he's probably one of the best in the country. So he wants to teach Papa Germ a lesson.
Papa Germ, one half of the Nicotine Knights.
Knights of Nicotine.
The Knights of Nicotine will be coughing his way through the match, and clean living Slater will be having to avoid that, I guess.
Yeah. So it'll be an interesting matchup. I mean, you look at the experience levels between the two. Slater should be able to time in knots, but I'm excited to see what Papa Germ brings to the table.
Knots.
Yeah, knots, lots and lots of knots. We also have the tag team championships on the line. The current EPW tag team champions, the purveyors of work rate, Elijah Henry and Chris J. Lazarus, will be taking on the Cretins because at the last show, Buster Rust, a member of the Cretins with King Shahil, he managed to score a pinfall victory over Elijah Henry in a singles match, which didn't sit well with them. So they've called out a tag team title match to say, hey, we're better than you guys. And we'll see how that all turns out. We've got another...
It never turns out well when you're like, hey, I'm better than you.
Yeah, that's it. Another match we got up on the show is the Lightning Kid, Jay Kendrick versus Jordan Bishop. These guys are on a mission to hit the big time and get those big matches. And they started off by trying to take on a former Pride champion in Jordan Bishop. Kid's got heart, but he's probably going to die. Carrying on. we've also got, for the first time ever, an Ultra tag match. Now, the Ultra division has been kicking along, pitting the biggest and the baddest against the biggest and the baddest. You have to be over 100 kilos or over 6 feet tall to be in the division. And it all turned pear-shaped at our last show when the number 1 and number 2 ranked Manu and Felix Young, not Manu, sorry, Dex Van Diemen and Felix Young faced off for the number 1 position in Ultra. And Manu Kaitoa and Axton came out to see what would happen, who would claim that number 1 spot. During the match, there was a little bit of, what would you call it? A little bit of, not outside interference, but while Ultra matches happen, sometimes they spill out of the ring. And unfortunately, some altercations happened on the outside, which caused altercations to happen on the inside, and all hell broke loose. And then they were slated to have a tag team match at Date with Destiny. So that's going to be a hell of a tag match.
So, Don, what's the catering like for an Ultra tag team match?
Hot dog and a handshake, sir.
Oh, take that.
Yeah, that's what everyone... Unfortunately, ESPW, you get a hot dog and a handshake. That's the catering.
It's the going rate.
Yeah, that's the going rate. We've also got an 8-man tag match with a few people who are sort of got a lot going on at Reawakening. You've got Team Fantasia, Lambert, Cargus, and Garcia, which is going up against Chris Target, Dustin Connors, and the Ducks brothers. So a lot of those, we've actually got Rogan Cargus and Dustin Connors going one-on-one for the Coastal Championship at Reawakening. So that...
and your tag team partner thought he'd just pop in on that match as well, did he?
Hey, look, he's just trying to represent for DNT. He's like, you know what? I want to go and fuck some shit up, and this seems like a great opportunity. See, the thing with Target is he knows that Cargus is the Coastal Champion. Jesse Lambert's a former EPW champion. Lucas Fantasia has, came real close in the Invitational recently. So, and he knows if he can get a pinfall on any of those guys, it's going to elevate his status, right? So that's what he's going for. That's what he's gunning for. And
Fair
unfortunately,
enough.
he has to tag with the Ducks brothers. But you can't help that sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you have to ride with the devil himself.
And then in the main event, it is an ESPW Pride Championship scramble match. Now, for years, I always thought a scramble match was just a match where there was you could tag, or if someone falls out of the ring, someone else could jump in and the match continues. And it's, as far as I know, that's a south of the border Mexican scramble match. However, this scramble match is, because it's for a championship, any pinfall within the allotted time for the match means that that person becomes the interim champion.
Oh, it's one of those things.
So by the time the end of the match comes, whoever's secured the last pinfall is the champion.
So are you going to count these recorded championship reigns? Is Ryan Allen going to be the championship for like 3 seconds?
I think it's literally who goes in as champion and who leaves as champion.
Oh, so you can't lay claim afterwards. I was champion for fucking 1 minute and 22 seconds.
Oh, people will. It just doesn't mean it counts. That's all.
Fair enough, hey. I just want to make sure because, as you said, people will. And I'll see that shit on fucking social media and have a laugh.
Yes, we can all have a good giggle. But in the Pride Championship Scramble, you have Del Cano, former Pride champion, Ryan Allen, who just recently destroyed the career of Jack Edwards, but I'm sure we'll see Jack Edwards in the near future. The Great George, who is probably the most underrated wrestler in Western Australia at this point. Robbie Hart, who is a veteran from Adelaide, who now resides in Alkmaar, and the champion Blake Walker.
You say Alkmaar like everyone knows where that fucking place is, hey?
That's it. You don't know.
You don't?
I mean, definitely in Western Australia. Where is it? I don't know. That's where he's from.
Well, do you have any more local shopping centres of wrestlers that you'd like to give away?
Oh, plenty. That's literally in his entrance thing.
There's only one McDonald's, hey?
Yeah, that's it. One in the area. But yeah, so that's ESPW Date with Destiny. That is happening this weekend. I hope people get up and about and around it in WA. yeah, so that's the wrap of that.
Well, that's not the wrap of that, because you've still got the wrap around the weekend to go, my friend. So if you want to fucking get us out of here and cough up a lung somewhere else, you've got to do that first, hey?
Yeah, that's it. All right, so here it is, the wrap around the country. Thanks to Michael Lee from Australian Wrestling Community. We always appreciate his solid work in getting this to us. In the ACT, Lucha Fantastica is still on their tour with the Day of the Dead Fiesta in Canberra on Saturday, November 22nd. New South Wales, the Wrestle Strong Dojo End of Year Showdown, Sunday, November 23rd. In Queensland, Nightfall Wrestling Alliance have Insanity 10 on November 22nd, and there is a tryout for Wrestling Allegiance Rockhampton on Sunday, November 23rd.
Which of you fine gentlemen would like to join our team? Oh, there's only one spot open right now, so we're gonna have tryouts.
South Australia, Riot City Wrestling, Battle for Supremacy 19, Saturday, November 22nd.
That is the big one. That's the big one. That's the end of the year one for Riot City. So look forward to that coming out on YouTube or catching it live, whatever they deem necessary. Oh yeah, well, I think it might be, if you're in Adelaide looking for tickets, tough shit. Hey,
oh really?
I think it might be sold out. Yeah, but like otherwise, very limited tickets remain for that one.
Oh wow! Oh, good on them. I love to hear that shit. Pro Wrestling South Australia have Saturday Night Showdown on Saturday, November 22nd. I feel like they're not going to get a lot of people. Everyone's going to be at RCW, but I hope they still get a good crowd. Then we move over to Victoria for Matt Earth Society. Expect the Unexpected on Friday, November 21st. And Rock and Roll Wrestling Dirt Road Wave event is Saturday, November 22nd. And then in WA, we have the Date with Destiny at ESPW. So that is the wrap around the country. That is all the things happening wrestling this weekend in Australia. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure they've just given you every show that's happening this weekend. If you're in those areas, get down, get a ticket, enjoy your night, spend some money on some merchandise. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. You bring all your friends, that means more ticket sales, which means they can improve the venue, the lighting, the production, the payday for the wrestlers, all that stuff. The more people who get there, the better the show ends up. And then if you want to support a specific wrestler, head to the merch table. You can generally have a chat with them, catch up with them, buy some of their merch, and that money goes directly into their pockets to help them on their wrestling journey. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you like what you're hearing. Make sure you send me a message if you've got any questions, and we will see you next week.